Hi, it's very good to be here today, and I really appreciate your interest and time. Again, my name is Marsha, and so ironic, I've been listening to the last two presentations. By day, I'm a career counselor at MICA, as well as faculty, so I'm like, wow, I don't have to talk about networking, this is good. And Reese actually is a senior animation major, and also works in the career office at MICA as a peer career advisor. And the way this kind of all started with us collaborating was, I think it was a meeting we were having about her future, and we were talking about healthcare and being an animator, trying to figure out how you could do something that had an impact. And I, meanwhile, was thinking about what I wanted to do next with my Dhremo project, and next thing you know, we were like, all right, let's do this together. So we're going to tell you a little bit about our story, my story, kind of leading up to what now Reese is taking over and doing an amazing job with a project. So just to kind of give you a little background, Christy said we went to school together. I was a sculpture major, and so my whole career has really been about taking things apart and putting them together in interesting ways. I've always had a love of history. I grew up on a farm in Virginia, and so, like old textures, paint peeling, that's like my love. One of the things I used to do is take old Sears and Roebuck catalogs and like scan them, Photoshop all the parts apart, and then reconfigure them into other things, and then screen print them. So you can kind of see like where my head was as an artist, which is relevant in some way here. And then came May 19th, 2014. I will never ever forget that day. That was the day that I found out I had breast cancer. And I'm gonna just play you a quick little video.
When you're in your 30s, that you're going to all of a sudden get cancer. That comes out of nowhere. I have my whole life ahead of me. I have a child. I have things to do. I've seen a lot of people shut down, and I've seen them kind of go, all right, well, that's the end of my life, so here's what it is. I didn't want to go there. I went there for a couple seconds, and then I thought, no, this can't be it. Dhremo decals are beautiful apothecary-style labels that you can put on your IV bags when you're going through chemotherapy to just help shift your mind from fear, anxiety, the negative sides of cancer to something positive, something to look forward to. Showed them to the nurses, and they were like, oh, this is so cool. And, they went right with it. Let me put them on all of the bags. And I, of course, brought extras, so I'm giving them to the person beside me and the guy across the room. And you really could feel a difference in the way that the attitudes were there. It was just like, we were a community, we were focused on something positive. Shift. This is not paper, this is not words, this is not, just beautiful labels. This is hope. This is literally hope. This is literally vitality. This is literally infusing your soul with what you need to get through this.
I made these decals for myself, thinking, okay, this was great. I got through this treatment. It was really helpful to imagine all of these infusions to be the things I wanted to be infused with. But then people started asking me for them. I was actually driving to the hospital and back home and going to the post office to mail off decals that I was just printing on my home printer to people all across the United States, still while I was in treatment. And I started to go, this is something that I think I really need to put out there in the world. And so as soon as I finished my treatment was about a year between chemo and radiation, I just hit the ground running, and I think within, 6 months, I had designed a website, a whole set of decals where I did not break any copyright rules, and put it out there. So, but the thing is, I started to look into this. I know that it helped me. I know that I needed to be able to not just distract myself during a chemo infusion, which is really scary, but I needed to be able to embrace this in a way. And so I started researching the power of the mindset. And I don't know if you've seen this TED Talk, but I would definitely highly recommend it. Dr. Crum basically she's conducting research about the placebo effect and about how our mindset really makes a huge difference in all kinds of ways, both in health and medicine, in job satisfaction, in so many areas. And I do think that that's an area that within, especially Western healthcare, is something that's a little bit untapped, and but we're getting there. I've always realized that there's, maybe I haven't always realized, okay. I've come to realize that there's really only one choice in life, no matter what the circumstance, and that is to approach whatever it is with fear or with love. And knowing that, this is really where Dhremo came to be, because I'm sitting there staring down these IV bags going, I can't approach this with love. This looks like poison to me. And it was actually a friend of mine who was a nurse, who's also a yoga teacher and very mindful. I said, how do I do this? How do I sit there? What do I think about when I'm sitting there for hours and hours with the slow drip of what I was thinking of as poison? And she said, why don't you just imagine it to be something else? Why don't you imagine it to be like love or light? And that's all it took. Being an artist, I was like, oh my gosh, that's totally what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just relabel it. I'm gonna take back the power, take back the control of this whole thing. I'm gonna make this my own journey. Because it's a very disempowering thing to have cancer, much less going through treatment. So, this is literally the choice. They really put those kinds of stickers on the bags. I don't know if any of you have witnessed this yourself, but the nurses come in all gloved up and are making sure that they are not spilling anything because it's a biohazard. And they have toxic stickers and caution and biohazard stickers on them. And then they're like, okay, let's put this right into your vein. It doesn't make sense, right? Mentally, that just seems like crazy. So, so right now, you can see we have a table outside. You can come by and see all of the different designs, but right now I have an Etsy shop, and I sell packets of 5 decals. I give 10% of all of my sales to local cancer support centers. But you can be infused with, vitality, a remedy to access inner power and well-being, or elixir for the restoration of hope, or pure and reliable clarity. There's also a miracle serum and love and light tonic, I believe. And then I started getting requests. What about the kids? What about the kids? What can we do for them? And last January, I basically, every time I have a break when I can actually work on this, so over my vacation break, I just was on my computer pretty much the whole week last summer with all my family, my cousins. We were at a beach house, and the whole week was me designing these, and all of the cousins coming around and going, I think there should be another dog on top of that elephant. They were amazing. So I got a lot of great intel, and then also I have Design Your Own. I think probably the most powerful, and because really when you take control of that, it's pretty amazing. So I also have pediatric hospital kits. After taking these to a few oncology conferences, doctors were saying, yeah, we need this. Why don't you figure out a way to work with hospitals? And so it's been 2 years since I started this. I've shipped to 40 states, and I'm already in 6 countries. And we are in 4 hospitals right now across the country and continuing to grow. But I have to say the thing that keeps me going is these people. I continue to get letters and pictures and just so many people saying, wow, this got me through. This got me in the right headspace to do this and this. This little girl, by the way, is doing really great now. So what's next? We are really excited to be working on kind of a super secret project that this is the first time that we're really revealing publicly. And it kind of started with last year during one of my career counseling sessions with a student. Somebody talking about Balti Virtual, who I'm sure you guys have heard of, they're here local, and they make holotats. Holographic tattoos or augmented reality tattoos.